Hi, I'm Realtor Bert Tade, and this is another video in our educational video series that I like to call Sipping Coffee or Tea with Realtor Bert Tade. Uh, in this series, we're going to maneuver through the hoopla, the hype, and yeah, even the media negativity surrounding the real estate industry. So, today's topic is going to be a very interesting one. It's going to be staging tips to attract buyers. This is the four-part video series for sellers, which is the home selling process, right? We've done a video. The first one was for preparing the home for sale. The next video that we did was pricing your home correctly. And then the last video was marketing strategies for selling a home. And this last topic is a really interesting one. It's staging tips to attract buyers. And I think this one is one of the more interesting ones. So hopefully you agree with me. Let's see what you think. And be sure to leave me a comment below at the conclusion of this video. I love to read my comments, both good and bad. I'm a big boy. I can take it. I got thick skin. But let me know what you think. So the first thing we're going to talk about in our staging tips to attract buyers is the highlight the key areas, right, of the home. So we're going to focus on staging the living room, the kitchen, the master bedroom, as well as the bathrooms. So ensure that the spaces are clean, bright, and inviting. All right, this is part of the staging process. And arrange the furniture to create a natural flow and emphasize the room's purpose. However, remember what we talked about in another video. You want to declutter and depersonalize, right? So cluttersome in terms of furniture is going to make people think that the rooms are smaller than they really are, and that's a bad way to go, because you don't want to have the people thinking that the house is small, especially if it's not, right? So the second tip we're going to give you on this topic of staging tips is, of course, use natural and light colors, right? We talked about this before, but you're going to want to paint your walls in neutral tones like beige, gray, soft white, to appeal to a broader base of buyers, right? A broader audience. I talked about 20 years ago when Diana and I had our first home. We had all kinds of funky colors on the walls, and this is before it was in the real estate business, and we were basically just putting in the listing, you know, buyer concession, seller concession for buyer to paint the walls and whatever, and it must have driven my agent crazy at the time. Sorry about that, Audrey, if we if you're watching. They were just awful colors that we had. It was very pleasing for us, but awfully distracting from the beauty of the home, right? Because of all the crazy colors we had in each room. You know, we should just paint them neutral colors, but you live and learn, right? And we're gonna ask you to use light-colored furnishings and decor. We're going to suggest that to make spaces feel larger and more open. And you're going to want to avoid bold colors like the aforementioned that we had in our house 20 years ago, and patterns that might distract or overwhelm buyers, right? And by the way, we had patterns on our wall too. What a disaster that must have been. It was like a dumpster fire of a listing. How we even got that home sold, it must have been the marketing efforts of my listing agent at the time. Poor thing. So the third point we'd like to make is, of course, to maximize natural light. Walking into a room with natural light that just streams right in is terrific, especially if you can minimize that when you want to with plantation shutters or things of that nature, right? But definitely whenever the buyers are viewing the home, you want for that to that light to stream in. So by opening curtains, blinds, let as much light in as possible, right? It makes the rooms look much bigger. You're going to want to, as I mentioned in other video, clean the windows to ensure they're clean and unobstructed. A sparkling window, especially double pane glass, is just so beautiful. To just open those blinds or the curtains and just look through to the backyard or even the front, whatever. And to have those windows sparkle, what a difference it makes. I mean, it's super appealing to the buyers. Um, Even add mirrors, right? Who knows, right? It's another thing you could do to reflect light and create a sense of space. The fourth thing we're going to talk about is, of course, add inviting touches. So you're going to want to place fresh flowers and potted plants in key areas that add life and color, right? It's so interesting when people walk in and they see color, especially the backdrop is a neutral color, right? The aforementioned neutrally colored or painted walls, right? Um, it looks so nice to walk into a home that features that color. So you're going to want to set the dining table with attractive place settings. Again, fresh flowers really makes the space pop. Just gorgeous, right? Add cozy touches like throw blankets, pillows, and area rugs. And by the way, everything I'm telling you about this staging, this should take place, folks, even before the first buyer visits the property. You should start with all of these things that I'm mentioning from day one. And day one is when those professional photos get taken. We talked about that in another video about how if your prospective listing agent has a notion to snap the photographs for public sites and for marketing materials with their iPhone, you need to ask them to leave immediately. Remove them from your home. I'm serious. That is the worst thing ever. I mean, I've seen photos with a thumb, on the lens, like kind of like a blurred little on the side there where they foolishly, had their finger, their thumb blocking a part of the lens. I've seen cats laying on beds, in the primary bedroom. I mean, what are you doing? It's a dereliction of duty, folks, and it's a downright disservice to you. So if that's their idea of marketing, you need to ask them to leave. But you definitely want to have those things I just mentioned to make the home look cozy in the professional photos. That's where it starts, right? Because recent statistics tell us that 98% of home buyers are online now. That's 98 out of 100 people. So you have to have a robust presence online. That's that's putting your best foot forward, right? And that is the first impression that you're going to make to the buyers and the public that might be interested in coming to view your home, right? And you never get a second chance to make a first impression, as I say, right? The fifth and final thing I'll talk about is, create really nice outdoor living spaces. So important to stage the outdoor areas such as patios, decks, balconies with furniture and decor. I visited a property the other day. I previewed it for my buyers. I reached out to the seller through my marketing, and they raised their hand and said, yeah, we might be interested in selling. So I previewed it before I took my buyers out there on a different day. And they had the most beautiful patio furniture that was really inviting and made that space look so much more interesting, because buyers, when they're walking through the home, they're envisioning themselves, having a nice candlelit dinner by the swimming pool or whatever, right on the back patio. And there, you want for them to start envisioning their family or their friends or whatever, whoever to be out there, sharing that space with them. So it's so important to highlight any outdoor features like fire pits, the aforementioned swimming pools if your home features one, and the gardens. And like I said in a previous video, the mulch is so important, because just fresh mulch around the trees, it really does make the home pop, especially for that curb appeal. And it's really going to make a huge difference to buyers. And we're listening for the oohs and the ahs, right? When the buyers come view the homes, or if I'm on the buy side and I'm showing the home, I'm listening for those as well, right? Not just the sizzle features, but also, at the rain shower and in the primary bed bath or whatever, but also the oohs and the ahs when they walk up to the house, right? The aforementioned sparkling windows and the mulch around the trees and so forth. I mean, what a difference it makes, right? So ensure that the outdoor spaces are, of course, clean, well maintained, and inviting, right? And more than anything else, that you power wash. Remember what I said in a previous video? Power washing is so important, right? It makes a huge difference. And not just the driveways. Make sure you clean up any oil stains and stuff like that on the driveways as best you can. But not just the driveway. What a difference it makes. My goodness. I just did that at a listing about a month and a half, 2 months ago. I convinced the home seller to invest in some power washing, and I had him not only wash the driveway and the sidewalks leading up to the home, but also the sidewalk itself that spans the width of the lot, because that's going to make a difference not only in the professional photos, which is the best foot forward as I'm talking about, but also for for when the potential buyers and their agents walk up to the home, right? That's that curb appeal that we're always looking for, because that's the first impression that they're going to have of your home. So by following these tips to effectively prepare, price, and stage your home to attract buyers is going to ensure a successful home sale. And this, of course, has been video number 4. And it's, of course, staging the home for success. And this has been another video in my educational video series that I call Sipping Coffee or Tea with Realtor Bert Tade. An educational video series for both buyers and sellers. Hopefully you found this interesting. My name is Bert Tade. I'm a realtor, but I'm also broker owner of Santino Properties LLC, a boutique firm that specializes in the unique and effective use of marketing. And hopefully this has been interesting for you. Be sure to hit the subscribe or like button below on whatever platform you're watching this on. We do love to hear feedback from our viewers as well. Our audience is important to us, and the way we get better at what we do is by you leaving your comments, both good and bad. We got thick skin, we can handle it. Let us know what you think. And that's it for now. Hopefully you enjoyed this video.